Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, it was very fun. I believe we're on the hour, and so I believe I'll go ahead and call the forum together. And I think everybody here knows I'm Connie Nestor, and I do want to wish you all a hearty welcome today. And I would like to tell you a little bit about the Scottish American History Forum, which is part of the Arts and Cultural Division of Chicago Scots, which was formerly the Illinois St. Andrew Society. And the society founded the oldest 501c3 charity in the state of Illinois in 1845, which was the Scottish Old People's Home at the time and later named Caledonia Senior Living and Memory Care, which is located in North Riverside, Illinois. Chicago Scots is dedicated to nurturing Scottish identity through service, fellowship, celebration of Scottish culture, in addition to support of Caledonia Senior Living and Memory Care. And so for additional information, please access our website at www.chicagoscots.org. And we do hope everyone will continue to give generously to our Caledonia Senior Care Charity. It's really a one-of-a-kind mission that all Scots can be proud of. Now, before we begin our presentation today, and we will be having question answer at the end with our National Commander, Kenneth Lloyd, we're delighted that Gus Noble is joining us. He is the president of Caledonia and Chicago Scots. And by the way, I would like to announce that it's going to be Gus who's speaking to us next month on May 11th on the subject of Scotland's national poet, Robert Burns, which is one of Gus's specialized expertise. And so I do hope you'll all be here next month and not miss Gus's presentation in May. So Gus, are you here? And would like to hear from you now, please.
Hi, Connie. How are you? Good morning. I apologize for any background noise. I'm with a 5-year-old who has lots of his toys on the table and in a parking lot. So there's lots of stuff going on around me. I want to thank you and particularly thank Kenneth for making time to present to us this morning. I bring, of course, the best greetings of everyone at Caledonia Senior Living and a report on our forthcoming Highland Games. We have a very special thing that we're going to do this year. Every year, of course, we have an honoured plan at the Highland Games. And this year we thought, there's something unique to Chicago that Rotary International is headquartered just outside Chicago in Evanston. And for only the second time in history, the president of Rotary International is a Scot. He ends his term this year at the end of June. And we thought, what better way to send him off back to Scotland than to make Rotary International our honoured clan. And he, the chieftain of the Highland Games, and we will present the salute to the chieftain at the mass band. So we're inviting all the Rotarians to march with Gordon McAnally and receive the salute at the Highland Games in beautiful Wheaton, at the new venue for the Highland Games in June. So that's a short report, and I look forward to hearing from Kenneth and being with everyone at the Highland Games. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Gus. That sounds terribly exciting. Congratulations. That'll be loads of fun. So can't wait to hear more about that.
I'll say just one thing about Rotary. It has very strong Scottish roots. It's the world's largest service organisation with millions of Rotarians around the world. But the man who started it was a guy called Paul Harris. He was a lawyer in Chicago, and he invited four other people with whom he did business, not other lawyers, but people in related fields. And they got together and created this organization. It's grown over its 100+ years. But Paul Harris, once upon a time, went to Scotland, was on a bicycle trip, fell off his bicycle and ripped his trousers. They were mended by a lady called Jean, and she was from Edinburgh, from a place called Cumley Bank in Edinburgh. And Paul Harris fell in love with Jean, ended up marrying her. She moved to Chicago. He built a house for her on the south side of Chicago called Cumley Bank, which he named for her. And in a radio address just a few years later to the gathered convention of Rotarians, he said that in Rotary, what we are trying to do is make the words of Robert Burns come true. And he then quoted from "A man's a man for all that." So Rotary has very strong Scottish roots. It's right and appropriate that we should recognise them at the Highland Games.
Excellent. Well, another organization to be proud of. I'm so happy to know about this. Well, we'll look forward to that, Gus, and interfacing with them. Thank you. Okay. Well, I think before we move forward, people are still joining, and I want to give them a little more time to join. But I do want to share some of our upcoming speakers, as we've confirmed a number of very exciting people for you this year, including Dr. Michael Brown from the University of Aberdeen, Dr. Martin McGregor from the University of Glasgow, Dr. Ewan Cameron from the University of Edinburgh. We have Dr. Matthew Jennick from the United States Naval Academy, Dr. Derek Patrick from the University of St. Andrews, Dr. Leith Davis from Simon Fraser University, Dr. Michael Pugh from the University of the West of Scotland, and a host of others. So I do hope all of you will make an effort to be active in this history forum and to join us on a monthly basis. Help us celebrate and keep Scottish culture and history alive in America. Well, now I think we'll go ahead and move forward with our presentation today. I would like to welcome National Commander Kenneth Lloyd, who's going to talk to us about the Scottish American Military Society, USA. And Ken, we couldn't be more delighted that you've made time to speak with us. So I believe Jack and I are ready to turn the program over to you now, please.
Okay. First, I'd like to thank Chicago Scots and Scott,
Jack.
Yeah, and Connie for inviting me to come and speak to you all. Normally, I'm a man of few words, and you could ask my wife. She'll ask me where or what we want for dinner, and after 20 minutes of thinking about it, I say, I don't care. And that's about the way I go about doing things, is the fewer words, the better. I'm going to try to give you at least 30 minutes of a talk here. All this is new to me, so please bear with me. I am the commander, national commander for Scottish American Military Society. And you all hopefully have either seen us or heard of us or read about us somewhere, because we are a national organization and we are spread across the United States, including in Hawaii. So I'll give you a little bit of background. If I could figure out how to do this. Okay, so the initial planning started way up in what is now Grandfather Mountain, but way back in 1979, when they were walking around the field as a Klan member, they noticed a bunch of other members with military ribbons and that kind of stuff on their shirts. So they would get together at the games and talk about, you know, where they were, what they did, what branch of service, all that kind of stuff. So what they finally decided to do is decided they needed to start a society or a group of military members who are also Scottish or Irish, and got together at all the games that they could meet and went over things, told war stories, all that kind of stuff. So what they decided to do is, like I said, start this society. And in July of 1981, they drew up a charter and some bylaws, and they were adopted at Grandfather Mountain Games in North Carolina. So number of the veterans were attending the July 1980 Grandfather Mountain Highland Games. And they've been friends for a number of years, and when not participating in clan activities, they would discuss things of mutual interest, including military history, current military affairs, war stories, same thing we do all the time. Among that group was a group of veterans that wanted to do more than just talk. So they decided to act on what they were talking about. So what they did was they met at one of the homes of Hal Morrison and the mother Alvira Morrison in North Carolina, who are both veterans. And they decided that they needed to form a formal group or organization to represent the veterans at the Highland Games. And so what they did, like I said, they actually met in her garage when they had their first meeting, and did a lot of talking, did a lot of structuring, and finally they came up with the Society, Scottish American Military Society. So once they did that, they decided, well, we got to make everything legal and make everything structured so that they can talk to other people about it and get them interested. So it was known as Scottish American Military Society, or SAMS, or Sam's Own, like Uncle Sam in that picture, you know, that's very popular. And they decided to do a charter and file articles of incorporation, the bylaws, membership structure, and its purposes. And on April 12th, 1981, they were incorporated as a voluntary, non-sectarian, nonprofit war veterans organization under the laws of the state of North Carolina. And Armed Forces Preservation and Promotion of Scottish and American Customs, Traditions, and Heritage. Subsequently, they filed for and received U.S. government Internal Revenue Service recognition and the IRS Code 501c19, which made us an organization of war veterans of the United States. And Randy Downey, one of the first charter members, served as president or commander on the corporate organization papers. His name is at the top of the list. So once they got all of that settled and filed with the state of North Carolina, we received our charter, and the articles of incorporation. I don't think I need to show you all that. But so the next thing they needed to do is figure out how to get more members. So first meeting was held on July 11th, 1981 at Grandfather. And the notice had been posted throughout the games. So they had a lot of interest amongst all the veterans that were there. And they decided to hold a meeting right there at Grandfather Mountain. And a lot of people had a lot of questions, of course, and wanted to know what was going on. And they decided to join. And the first charter members, or CL for Charter Life or Charter Regular, right there, they filled out the forms, paid their dues. It was the national dues, and became members of Scottish American Military Society. They elected officers. William Wright was the first national commander, and he helped to elect the full council, which is 5 officers and 6 council members. That way there's always a tiebreaker. So moving forward just a little bit here, it wasn't until just recently that over the years, we've lost charter members, passing away, that kind of thing. So I've been working diligently to try to get those slots filled again, and we now have all of our slots filled once again. So everything that we need to do for the society, we're able to accomplish without any problems. So again, all of that was started at the first meeting there. And then over the years, Scottish American Military, or SAMS as we're known, expanded its membership and became a nationwide organization. In 1982, the Patriot SAMS newsletter was started, and it was started by Al Ankrum as just like a commander's newsletter, commander's call type thing. And since then, it's been added and added and added. And our bylaws were changed. And they decided to establish what they call camps. And this was for people who were very interested, wanted to get involved, but were maybe from a different state and couldn't come to North Carolina. So what they did was they allowed these camps to start. And the camps, you needed at least 4 members. Once you got your 4 members, you made application and applied for a camp. Once you did that, you started working on becoming a post, a full-fledged post. Now the post needs 10 members, and 4 of those members should be officers: commander, vice commander, comptroller, and an adjutant. So after a year, if you've got your 10 members, then you submit the paperwork to become a full-fledged post. And that's the way they started doing that. Also, in 1987, the Patriot became a full-fledged magazine, not just a newsletter. And we won the first place for service to special audiences in the second annual newsletter competition held by the Scottish newspaper and the Council of Scottish Clans and Associations. And this is what our Patriot looks like. This is the front cover. And as you look at this picture, the 3 young ladies in the shirts are all high, how I put it, they're all athletes, and they go wherever across the United States. They've been to Scotland competing, but all three of them are members of post 1775 in North Carolina. They're all veterans, and they've all become very active, and we see them at all the games as they're competing. The gentleman to the left, his name is Victor St. Pierre. You may have, if you've seen a Patriot magazine, you may have seen his picture a number of times. He's 98 years old. He joined Sam's when he was 95. No, 94, when he was 94. He's very active. He's still got everything upstairs. He loves what he's doing. He was a gunny sergeant in the Marines. He put in his 20, 30 years. And one of our members thought, well, he's too old to join. So my wife and I said, no, he wants to be a member, he could be a member. So at 95 and 94, he joins Scottish American Military Society. At the far right is the adjutant for post 1775. And this was one of our, I believe this was at Loch Norman. So we are able to recruit active duty, veterans, wives of active duty or veterans, widowers of members, and those who have a lineal descent for Scottish or Irish ancestry and military. So my son could join SAMS because I'm a member of SAMS. So we are trying to do a big recruiting thing now to try to get our membership up. And this has helped us quite a bit. So operations through the years, we were the smallest, or we are the smallest war veteran organization. And the thing is, we may be the smallest, but we are kind of special because to be a member of our organization, you have to have the ancestry of Scottish or Irish descent. And but we also network with all the other American Legion, VFW, all the other groups that are out there. And we try to work together to help veterans as much as we can. We are not a veteran service organization. And a lot of people think that we are, but we are not. And what we do is if somebody comes to our tent and they have questions, we can point them in the right direction or give them information on who to contact. So we try to make that clear to everybody. We are not a veteran service organization. But we were chosen by the committee to lead the parade in the American section of the parade for the U.S. Constitution in Philadelphia. We brought over the Black Watch pipes and drum in Canada, of Canada, to the parade, and we were let's see, yeah, we were the mass, with the mass colors provided by SAMS for the parade. In 1988, SAMS achieved its membership goal set in 1981 by surpassing the 1,000 member mark. The problem is, you know, as you get more people to join, other people are passing away. So we're still hanging around the 1,000 mark. We're about 1,200 or so. But we are across the United States. We participate in 36 games, 22 states, and regional commanders are appointed to assist with the post and the post development. SAMS provides scholarships for piping students, and we also had a national SAMS flag designed and approved. We accept Medal of Honor winners with honorary membership. We also have memberships for UK members who have gotten the Victoria Cross, or just a UK veteran can join SAMS. We had organized by 1995 the 10 regions, 22 posts, 16 states. Today we have 46 posts, 17 regions, and as we speak, there's about 3 or 4 more posts being developed. Way up in places like Montana. We're trying to recruit the cows and everybody else up there. But we're trying to expand as much as we can all across the United States. What does the future hold for us? Well, as commander, I would like to see us, you know, try to get up to like 5,000 members in the next couple years. Since we are such a unique organization, you know, it's a little hard to recruit people who have both the veterans or the military and the Scottish and Irish ancestry. But they're there. We know there's about 2 million of them across the United States. We just got to find them. Let's see. Yeah, we have our post number, our membership numbers are like up in the 5,000. But again, quite a few of those people have passed on, have gotten too old to participate, have dropped out. We have what we call MALs, or members at large. And what those are people who don't really want to be a member of a post, but they want to be a member of SAMS. So we have quite a few of those across the United States. Okay. One of the things that we are proud of is not only did we expand between 2000 and 2005, but we also had an influence in the Scottish American community in that the Patriot was expanded to a 50-page quarterly journal. It's sent to Congress or wherever it is in DC that keeps it on file. We established a website, and it's, as you can see on the screen, www.sams- or s-a-m-s. That's a hard thing to say. And we are right now in the process of upgrading that by our webmaster. We're involved with the National Tartan Day celebration held in Washington, D.C. every year. We presented Senate Majority Leader Trent Lott with the Scottish American Foundation's William Wallace Award for its co-sponsorship of the Senate resolution. We participated in a celebration in the concurrent Scottish Festival at Freedom Plaza, the first Scottish festival to be held in the District of Columbia. We were also members of the 2001 expansion of National Tartan Day ceremony held on the steps of the Capitol, and we were part of the Colored Party, including SAMS members, Baltimore Washington Andrews Society, and others, and facilitating the participation of the Air Force Reserve Command Pipe Band. Honorary SAMS members were accepted by attending members of the Scottish Parliament and by members of the U.S. Senate who are active in the establishment of National Tartan Day, who had supported the U.S. military in various ways. This time, SAMS would also help in the organization and participation in the first gathering on the Capitol Mall. We are a member of the Scottish Coalition. We were invited in 2002 to join. It's a group that's nationally recognized. Scottish American organizations was among those instrumental in bringing about National Tartan Day and developing other national programs. SAM's national commander, along with the president of the Washington St. Andrews Society, acting as individuals, incorporated the National Capital National Tartan Day Committee, was intended to further the future activities of National Tartan Day in Washington, D.C. By 2004, SAMS was participating in most of the Scottish Highland Games in the United States. And this participation included color parties, post tents, providing educational information. The other thing that SAMS will do, and people don't know about, is we do weddings, we do funerals, we do talks at high schools, and we are very involved with the junior ROTC and the ROTCs and SAMS camps. We meet throughout the United States, awarding SAMS achievement medals to junior ROTC students in high school, as well as issuing financial grants to local nonprofits or military organizations. SAMS camps are now being developed to allow smaller groups of members to organize. And like I said, that's what's happening. We've got 3 or 4 that are starting out. Some in Montana, some in Utah, and another one down in Texas. So we're expanding, and I'm happy to hear that. SAMS continues to issue awards to university ROTC students for exceptional performance and consider developing an associated not-for-profit organization to accept scholarship donations. We now have about 1,100, 1,200 members, 34 posts, and we are active in all the ROTC programs in almost every state, and the junior ROTC programs. This is the medal that we give out. Right now, we are having a little bit of a problem. We give out the awards, we give out the ribbons, but right now the students are not allowed to wear them on their uniform because each branch of the military has to accept it and put it on their list of medals and stuff that the students can wear. So we're working on that. And we've been in contact with every branch of the United States military trying to get that established. And here you see one of the medals being awarded. And the gentleman in the kilt is our National Awards and Decks Committee Chairman. And he is, like I said, working diligently, trying to get everything approved by each branch of the United States military. Just post 1775 in North Carolina, we're giving out about 20 to 25 medals. We have another post that's giving out about 25 medals. So we're real active, especially in the bigger cities with all the high schools. We're also going to be giving out ROTC medals, and we also give them a challenge coin. I think UNC this year has 2 of them, and one of the other colleges in Charlotte, North Carolina. So that's something that we are really proud of. We're getting more and more high schools and colleges involved in universities. And like I said, Marshall Perry is our awards and decks, and he's keeping on top of everything and making sure that everything is legit. So in 2006, we became 25 years old. at a national game attended by then national commander and corporate council. The Lord Lion of Scotland had been honored guest, and our commander and council, both being familiar with Scottish arms, met with the Lord Lion and reviewed with him Sam's Scottish arms. And Lord Lion reviewed everything, showed an interest, and said, submit a request for a grant of arms. And that's what they did. They submitted the request, and they also developed a national dirk to give out. So the request was granted, and we've got our national coat of arms. Bylaws change, of course. It could be from year to year, depending on what's needed. The comptroller's report in 2007 showed that we had a strong financial position. Bylaws were proposed to change a couple things. There was a need for specific and formal set bylaws to support the continued expansion of SAMs and growing responsibilities. So the Lord Lion granted with the letters of intent. They were approved, and as a society noble of noblesse of Scotland, we were granted with an official Scottish coat of arms, and we continue to be a strong supporter of National Tartan Day and a good liaison in Washington, D.C. On April 4th, President George Bush issued a presidential proclamation followed earlier by the Senate and House resolutions with SAMs, which SAMs also supported. And technical revisions proposed 2007 by our bylaws were accepted by the membership. This is our coat of arms. And as you can see, it's got, but not for freedom, for that alone. And logo is the Mountain Man from King's Mountain. And you can see the flag of Scotland and the flag of the United States, the cross swords, because our motto also is with fire and sword. So SAM's arms, the badge, and the battle flag. 2009 issue of the Patriot displayed the full color of the SAM's arms, a badge, and the battle flag. As corporate arms, SAM's arms are authorized to be worn by the members of the society. And the quartermaster started to make approved copies of the arms available to all posted members. National commanders, officers, and counselors began working together as required by the recently approved bylaw changes to implement those bylaw changes and develop related long-term policies. Additionally, a detailed study by the councilors was begun to evaluate how SAMs could be more effectively managed to meet the challenges of continued growth in the future. And this is the cover of our bylaws from 2010. And we are currently looking through our bylaws to see if we need to amend them again and add some up-to-date information into our bylaws. So that's one of the things that the council is working on now. Okay, in 2010, we had another big event with the acceptance of honorary membership by His Royal Highness, Edward, Prince of Wessex. Special certificate of membership was presented to the Prince at the Greenville Scottish Highland Games. The Patriot expanded its colorization to include the SAMs on Parade section. And SAMs on Parade basically is where all the posts across the United States will submit pictures will submit their calendar of events, and we put that in the Patriot, and it goes out so everybody can see what's going on with Sam's. And here's His Royal Highness. We also accept advertising in our magazine to help cover some of the costs of the printing and publication. So the use of the regional meetings to facilitate inter-post communication and cooperation. Full council now itself held the required national annual meetings is required by North Carolina law. We found that they were poorly attended, and that's because people couldn't make trips to North Carolina, that kind of thing. But now with Zoom and other media, we are able to keep our meetings scheduled and to take care of everything that has to be taken care of. And if anybody wants to become an advertiser in our magazine, we would be glad to have you if you have any kind of a business. Now, 2014, we entered the world of social media. We got a Facebook page. Almost every post has their own Facebook page to try to get people more interested in their local post. And the national began its own involvement. Online fundraising was used by SAMS to fund grants approved by the full council to organizations providing unmet services to veterans. We continue to recognize those who had supported National Tartan Day by honoring U.S. House Member Mike McIntyre with an honorary SAMS membership. And last year we presented Representative Duncan with a honorary membership to SAMS, also for helping with Resolution 41 of National Tartan Day. This is our old website because we are currently rebuilding the website, and it'll be brand new. It'll be interactive. It'll have a lot more information in it, and it'll be out there for whoever needs to contact. We'll have a list of contacts for each post, a list of contacts for each officer, and this will afford everybody to have some kind of say in what they think needs to be done. If they're having problems with anything, they're free to contact even me. So we're trying to be open to every member of the society and keeping our communication up and down and sideways. Okay. All right. And this is the front of our Facebook page, or this is our Facebook page. And as you can see, we got Scotland and all that there. You have to be a member of SAMS to get onto the Facebook page. And we usually post everything that's going on. Like I said, each one of the posts are working on getting their own Facebook pages so they can put their calendar of events locally so everybody can see what's going on. All right, 2015, SAMS established 43 posts, 5 camps spread across the United States. We have 1,141 regular members. Of that, 573 are life members, 74 honorary members. And their membership is consistent with IRS regulations governing 501c19 veterans organizations. In total, like I had mentioned before, we've had almost 4,500 members pass through the ranks of SAMS. A lot of them, like I said, are having health problems. A lot of them have passed on. but we are pushing right now for the society to grow, recruiting. We're trying to come up with different avenues for the post commanders to come on board and offering them different recruiting tools, different recruiting methods, depending on where they are, what their population is. Like, for instance, if you are close to a base, you could get all kinds of members to join. If you're way out in Montana, like I said, you can get the cows to join, but we're still trying to work on that. There's at least 20 people because we got 2 posts that are getting ready to open up in Montana. So we're working on building SAMs. We owe our gratitude to all the past national commanders, the officers, the counselors. We still have a couple counselors, Al Ankrum, Tim Cook, Jerry Paul, they're all still alive and kicking. Al Ankrum actually is Commander Emeritus, however you say it, Emeritus. He has been national commander 5 times in his 40 years with SAMs. So he was awarded that emeritus on everything that he's done to build SAMs from the beginning to today. And he is still active by helping with everything that's going on right now. A special gratitude is owed to Mayor Powell, who served as National Adjutant from 1985 to 1992 and 1997 to 2005. Because of his long service to the Scottish American Military Society, he is awarded Honorary Command Sergeant Major of Scottish American Military Society. We also wanted to recognize General Raymond G. Davis. I think everybody has probably heard of him because he also served as one of our counselors for many years. And we couldn't have done, or we couldn't have been where we are today without all the work that they had done prior to us. So on Saturday, April 12th, yesterday, Sam turned 43 years old. We're still seeing an increase in membership. We actually have a couple posts who, one has over 150 members, another's about 125, and we're still growing. We know that our membership is aging, but we also have a lot of the younger veterans who are looking for something to get involved in. And a lot of them just like the idea of marching around the field with a kilt on. So we're getting a lot of people at each one of our games, many of our games. So we would like to, like I said, try to at least get that 2,000 mark in the next couple of years. And we're going to work diligently in doing that. Here's a picture of where our regions are. The color over there to the left shows you how many posts are in each region. One of the things that we've never had before, and I'm starting, is Zoom meetings with all the regional commanders, and then Zoom meetings with each of the commanders. Like I said, we're trying to keep the communication going up and down and sideways so that we can build this organization, maybe not to the level of DAV or American Legion, but we would like to try to get close to it. So for more information, there's the website, s-scot.org. a-m-s.org. Like I said, our webpage is also being updated, and it will be interactive. And if there's any questions, people can go online. They can go to the webpage. Like I said, each one of the posts has their own Facebook pages. And if anybody's interested in joining, they can get in touch with us on the webpage. And the application's there. Like I said, the information for contact is there. And I hope to see as many of you as I can at some of the games. If you're ever there and we're there, please stop by the tent and say hi. Tell us who you are, and we'll welcome you with open arms. And if you're interested in joining, we'll sign you up right there. So that is basically the end of my presentation. I would like to thank our officers for all the work that they're doing to make this society grow. I'm going to especially thank my wife, Deborah, who is our corporate communications officer, for typing all this up for me. I'd still be typing if it weren't for her. I'd like to thank our webmaster, who is brand new, but is doing an excellent job of keeping everything going and updating us to the 21st and hopefully into the 22nd century. And I also like to thank Brenda McGuire, Ray and Brenda McGuire. Ray is our webmaster. Brenda is our Patriot editor, and she provided some of the pictures for us, so we could have this presentation for you. So thank you, and I think, Connie, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Well, okay, Ken. Wow, very, very impressive.
I hope you could understand everything I said. I was going kind of fast.
No, we could hear you loud and clear. I'm just, while everybody's turning your mics back on and turning your cameras back on so you can interface with Ken. Ken, what are qualifications for membership? What do you have to be or do if you want to join?
You have to be a veteran, active duty. We do take cadets from the military academies. And you have to be Scots, Irish, and somewhere Welsh got in there somehow. But Scottish ancestry, Welsh or Irish ancestry in the military. You can go online, like I said, to the webpage. You can fill out an application, stop by our tents, call anybody up that you can get the contact number off of the webpage, and we'll be glad to talk to you some more about it.
And I think you also mentioned spouses and children. Don McLeod. Don, did you have a comment?
No, not at this moment, no.
Oh, okay. I thought you turned your mic off. You know, I'm very impressed. I didn't realize that you had the ROTC awards and that Lord Lyon had approved a coat of arms for you. You've really accomplished a lot. I'm just also wondering, Ken, and then I'll hush up and give everyone else a chance. But I noticed that, you know, you had the coat of arms that was approved by the Society Noble of the Noblesse of Scotland, and then a different coat of arms on your website, which had King's Mountain on the emblem. And I'm just curious about the difference.
Well, some of the pictures that we put on the webpage were pictures that were drawn up when I were trying to develop the coat of arms. But the one that I showed you is the one that was eventually approved by Lord Lyon. So there may be some other versions out there.
Other comments or questions, please?
I have a question about your tartan.
Yes,
Do you
sir.
have- Do you have a tartan that's been registered?
We do not, but if you give me just a second, I want to show you something. I'll be right back. Two years ago, one of our members got in touch with us and said that he developed a tartan and it's registered and it's called the 1780 Kings Mountain Tartan. And this is what it looks like. And of course, each color represents something that has to do with Kings Mountain. Red for the blood, green for the field after the battle was done and cleared up, black for those who lost their lives, and that also will be put on the webpage so that everybody can see it. But you have to be, when the member registered it, right now it's only open to Sam's members. So you may start seeing this on the field because we just got our tartans back this year. So I'm going to be real happy to start wearing this, especially up at Grandfather Mountain where we started. Other than that, there is debate. There was a tartan that came out a couple years ago, and it's it looks like a black watch tartan. But if you look real close, there's a red, white, and blue stripe in it. And that is also registered. And we can get those made. But right now we're trying to decide if we want the Kings Mountain or if we want the other one as a Sam's tartan. So once we get the webpage up, we're going to put it out to the membership, let them look at them and make a decision. And then we'll start working on getting kilts made.
You know, Ken, Bill McLeod was largely responsible for getting the state of Illinois tartan approved.
You broke up a little bit, Connie. What did you say? I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
I'm sorry. I just wanted to kind of plug Bill McLeod because he was very instrumental in getting the state of Illinois tartan approved. And I am wearing it. And Bill, do you want to tell the group about that project?
Well, we were one of the few Midwest states that didn't have an official tartan. So we spent almost a year going back and forth down to Springfield. The tartan already existed. It was part of the Illinois St. Andrews Society tartan. So we had to work to make that the official Illinois tartan. There was a lot of ups and downs and a lot of well, people wanted to make their own favorite tartan, the state tartan. So we had to work on trying to convince people that this was the right one for the St. Andrews tartan was the right one for Illinois. And we're starting to see it show up all over the place in ties and tartans and sashes and so forth. So it's been a while, but it's starting to make a big splash now. It's in the museum down in Springfield. And most of the people here at St. Andrews Society do have a sash or a tie or something that's part of the Illinois St. Andrews Society.
Thank you, Bill. We certainly do use that tartan on a regular basis at Chicago Scots, and we are very grateful to have it. It's quite a lovely asset to our history. So we appreciate that you led that effort. We just placed another order with the Scotland shop for 6 dozen ties and 6 dozen of the rose brooches, which are the common gifts that we offer our donors and members.
Watched it.
This is Catherine Fort. We're looking forward to having post 1775 at our Port City Highland Games in June.
Oh, okay. Yeah, we'll be there. Stop by and see us.
You'll see me.
Okay.
Catherine, your name says District 27.
Oh.
What is?
Sorry, different group.
Oh, I thought maybe you had run for office and been elected.
No, I run Zooms for another group.
Ray McGuire, I don't believe we've had you on before. We can see your picture. I'm wondering what your interest in association is and where you're calling in from.
Well, actually, I'm the webmaster for the website now, and I'm actually calling in from Portugal.
Wow.
Welcome.
I've retired and we're living in Portugal, so we're doing all the work for the New Patriot magazine and the website remotely from Portugal. But we're both current SAMS members for post 1955 in our home state, Washington State.
Beautiful.
I got another question for Ken.
Yes, sir.
I noticed one of your early slides, one of the names looked very familiar to me. Purdy McLeod.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, I know him from the Clan McLeod Society, and he was quite active, a very important person. I'm assuming it's the same Purdy McLeod from I think he's North Carolina.
Yeah. And he was a member of SAMS. He was a member of post 1775. And I got to meet him and talk with him a couple times. And very, very nice gentleman until his passing. So yes, Purdy McLeod was very instrumental in establishing SAMS.
I also noticed Purdy McLeod Jr. Is that his son or was that?
I met him. I don't know really what the son did with, if anything, with the establishment of SAMS. I mean, that was 42 years ago. So let me look here. I'm sorry, babe. Oh, Purdy is the junior. I'm sorry.
Okay, yeah. So
That's what my wife just informed me. Purdy is or was a junior.
so that's the same person that we both know.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So
Purdy was
Ken,
a wonderful gentleman.
He was.
you knew him, Don?
I'm
I'm
sorry.
sorry.
Did you know him or know of him?
Yeah, yes, I knew Purdy and was a guest in his home years ago. A wonderful location in South Carolina. He was a true gentleman, very active in Clan MacLeod and a lot of things.
Ken, is Sam's going to have a tent in Illinois this summer?
I'm not sure.
Jack, we
We
ought to
would love to.
solicit.
We would
How
love to.
racist are you?
Do we have a post in Illinois? We have a post in Illinois. I don't know where your games are, but there should be one up there.
That would be good. You can stake out next to our Scottish American History Forum tent. We're adjacent to all the clans and genealogy. It's a great location.
Okay. We'll have to tell them.
Good.
We one of the things that a lot of people don't realize is a lot of these games, even though we're the color guard for them, and that's the big thing that we do is color guard. We got to pay for our tents, and we have to pay for admission and everything else. So, you know, that's part of our operating expenses, and we're trying to get that changed so that you know, at least give us one tent for free. We're doing a service for them.
We do. We give you your tent for free.
You sure do. Yes, thank you. But the biggest one is grandfather, because their tents are awful expensive. And we usually get 2 of them. So, but trying to get our presence out there, and more posts that we can get, more active we can get them, the more you'll see us.
Our games are actually a benefit for the Pause for Vets program, so it's a really good tie-in. We have a lot of veterans
Yes.
attending.
Yes. And we're trying to get some of the younger veterans and try to offer them, you know, help any way we can, point them in the right direction to get help. Because a lot of them have come back and they, I won't say they're alone, but they're lonely, you know. A lot's happened over there, and not too many people share it. So we got to give them a route, somebody they can sit down and talk to and tell war stories with. So again, I'd like to get as many posts established as we can.
Ken, Dawn Miller here in Chicago. I will reach out to you via email to connect with the Illinois Post just to gauge their interest and see how we might collaborate to get them there at the games.
Okay, that'd be great.
I'll touch base with you and you can connect me.
Okay.
Thank you.
Fun. Thank you.
Thanks, Dawn.
Mhm.
When I was involved in the Highland Games, we did always have the color guard from Sam's. I don't know if that's continued or not.
Last year, Bill, we had the Boy Scouts do our color guard, but you bring up a good point. So expect an email from me too, Bill, and I'll get some background from you.
We're trying to start kind of like a new program. We want to try to give like a Scottish American Military Society certificate to like Eagle Scouts when they become an Eagle Scout, or you know, some of their scouts throughout the United States, and try to touch base with them too.
Hi, Sandy Kerr. Got one of our Board of Governors on there. I see your camera's on now. How you doing, Sandy?
Doing fine, thank you.
You and Judy, good. Any other discussion or questions for Ken today?
Okay.
Terrific. Well, Ken, we can't thank you enough. This has been very interesting. I'm going to follow up with you too, because I have a couple of outreach ideas, but really appreciate you making the time. Ken lives on a big farm and has to feed the animals and do all kinds of things. So we really appreciate you working us in, and we know you have a big responsibility as national commander, but it's been very interesting and value added. So thanks a bunch, and we'll see you at the festivals.
Okay, again, I thank you and Chicago Scots.
Okay, well, see everybody next month, and until then, please be safe. God bless.
Continue
Ken,
to
I'll
enjoy,
see,
continue to
Ken, I'll
enjoy
see you in
Scotland,
June.
Connie.